What is up, Bulldogs? John Sonmez here from BulldogMindset.com, and today we're going to be continuing our series on OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. It's a protocol that I've been following for over 3 years now and has resulted in the best physique that I've ever been able to achieve. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about how to get started on OMAD. How to get started with OMAD. Now, this is one of the questions I get a lot from people, because when I tell people about what I do, when I say that I eat 1 meal a day, they say, oh, I could never do that. Oh, I would be low blood sugar. Oh, I would get too hungry. Oh, I wouldn't have energy. I wouldn't be able to work out. And all those things are not true, okay? Those things are false beliefs that we have. Trust me on this. I'm not superhuman. I'm not special in any way. Some of you will get that. But I've trained myself and had my body adapt to this. See, our bodies are amazing at adapting to different things. Now, and I can tell you that I have done a lot of things without food, including running a full marathon, a 26.2 mile run, completely fasted. Okay, I regularly train 40 to 50 miles a week and run marathons. I lift in the gym 2-hour sessions 3 times a week, lifting very heavy, all without food, do kickboxing, do it all in one day, do it for multiple days. Trust me, you can survive and you will be fine, and you do not need to eat 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day, every hour. You can eat once a day and be fine. I can tell you this. I'm not a doctor. If you have a medical condition, don't just listen to me, some guy on the internet. Talk to your doctor. But as far as the average human being, from my own experience, without having a medical degree or being a doctor or giving you any, quote, medical advice, this is where I have arrived, okay? And I think most people can probably adapt to this. Let's talk about how to get started, okay? Because this is the key thing, is that yes, you can do it, but you need to do it right, and you need to realize it's going to take an adaptation period, and it's not going to be easy at first. It gets a lot easier later, I believe, but it's not going to be easy at first. And so the first thing, like I said, is I think dispelling those myths. Stop telling yourself that you would have too low blood sugar, that you would pass out, that you wouldn't have energy, or that you're too hungry, okay? Just realize that you probably have the same physiology as most human beings, and most human beings can survive and can do this. And I've trained and coached a lot of people that have moved to an OMAD or 1 meal a day protocol. Number 2, what you want to do is you want to ease into this for most people, okay? Now, some of you can just jump right in, okay? And like I said, in life, there's really 2 approaches to things, I'd say. One is to just jump right in, and the other one is to ease yourself in, right? So if you're going to go into a pool that's cold, some people will just jump in and that's fine, and they adjust real quickly because they're forced to adjust, and some people will adapt. They'll slowly go a little deeper and deeper and deeper. And either of those approaches work, okay, but you got to choose one. Pick one. Don't try and hybridize those, okay? For most people, I'm going to say let's adapt slowly over time, especially if you might have some kind of condition, okay, and you might have some problems with your blood sugar, and you need to get your body to regulate that, which is going to take some time. You've got basically 2 hormones in your body called ghrelin and leptin, which control your hunger also, and they are periodically released based on your circadian rhythm and the timing of your meals to make you hungry at certain intervals, like typically 3 times a day, if that's what you're used to. But that will adapt over time as you have longer fasting. You're already doing intermittent fasting. That's why you're here, okay? And now you're interested in taking it to the next step, OMAD, to get better results. I've talked about briefly already why I think OMAD is better than just regular intermittent fasting, and how regular intermittent fasting turns into actually just skipping breakfast a lot of times, okay? So a good stepping stone is doing some kind of intermittent fasting. For a lot of people, what I recommend, if you want to do OMAD, what you start out doing is you start out by just fasting until, say, 12 o'clock, but preferably 1 or 2 p.m. If you can make it to 1 or 2 p.m., basically you're skipping breakfast and you're having a little bit of a later lunch. If you can do that pretty consistently, that's going to get you closer to, the 5 o'clock time is when I eat is typically, or sometimes I do 7, but for most people it'll be like making it till 5 p.m. Do that for about a week or so, get adjusted to it, maybe 2 weeks, and then you're going to move it up. And what I've done with some of the people that I coach is I've told them, okay, what you can do is you're going to, now your next transition is going to be where you're going to fast until 2 o'clock, and then you're just going to have an apple. And that's it. Just an apple, okay? And then and that's going to hold you over until 5 o'clock when you can actually eat your meal. Again, it's difficult, it's tough. It's going to take some time for you to adjust to this, and you're going to be hungry, but that's fine. You will adjust to it, and you'll actually get used to feeling hungry, and it's not a bad thing, because when you get to eat your meal, you feel good about it. So it's something that is a reward for you that you can look forward to. You can look forward to at 5 o'clock. I can, right now it's work time. Right now I'm busting ass. Right now I'm getting shit done. And then at 5 o'clock I get to eat and enjoy myself a little bit. So it's a reward that you have every day. Then what I suggest is there's a couple of things here. One of them is that you're just going to have to bite the bullet. At some point you're just going to have to say, and it's easy to just make a hard, fast rule that says until it's 5 o'clock p.m. or whatever time that you're going to designate as your eating time, I do not eat. And you just make it. You just force yourself to go through that, and it'll take you about 2 weeks to adjust to it before it becomes a lot easier. Again, it's never going to be super, super easy. You're still going to be hungry, and you should be hungry. You should have an appetite when you eat, but it'll take about 2 weeks before your body starts to regulate the blood sugar, and it feels more normal, and you'll be fine. Again, I've been doing this for over 3 years now, and it's just my normal protocol. It's just what I'm used to doing. At first I thought I was going to temporarily do this, but I just live this way and I'm fine, and I've adjusted to it. My body's adjusted to it. It's just a normal thing for me to only eat once a day, and I know it seems like that'd be difficult, but it eventually happens. But give yourself 2 weeks. Most of the people that I talk to that try this and try to do OMAD, it takes them about 2 weeks. And they give up in the first week, a lot of people, or the first few days, because they think it's so hard. It gets much easier as some of those hormones change. Your body's ability to regulate blood sugar changes and adapts over time. And the longer that you do it, the easier it becomes. It never becomes super, super easy. I'll tell you that, but that's just how it goes, okay? The next thing I would say, and here's a good tip for you, is that, and you might not be able to do this, but this is how I structure things. A lot of what I try to do is I try to work out, and I work out usually for about 2 hours a day, but I try to move my workouts to about 3 o'clock p.m. every day. Now the reason why I do that is because about 3 o'clock is when I start to get more hungry, okay, and it's harder to focus on work and whatnot, right? When you're kind of hungry, but if you're in the gym lifting weights, or if you're out running on the track or running, you're not really thinking about food when you're doing that. I mean, you might be a little bit, but it's going to make it so that you can bridge that gap, that time, and pass that time and not waste that time and not be thinking about food. Instead, you're working out, you're doing something physical. It's also good too, just from a benefit of you're working out in the most fasted state that you're ever going to be at before you eat that meal. I would schedule my work such that the things that require the most brain activity are done before 3 o'clock. I've just found that 3 to 5 window can sometimes be the most difficult, even when you're adjusted to this. It's just, you're getting close to that feeding time. Your body is starting to say, hey, it's time to eat, feed me, okay? So that pretty much sums up the starting of this. In the next video, we're going to be talking about what should you eat on an OMAD diet when you're eating 1 meal a day. It is kind of important to pay attention to this. There's a lot of questions around that. If you have any questions so far on what I've talked about, leave a comment, leave a question below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you want more videos on this topic, share this with a friend if someone is interested in OMAD. And, I'll leave you with some kind of final advice on getting started. Like I said, you're just going to have to bite the bullet at some point and just realize that it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you can adapt to this lifestyle. And like I said, you can either just dive right in and just start doing 1 meal a day, and you're going to adapt pretty quickly. It's going to take about 2 weeks, but then you'll be fairly adapted to it. Or you can, slowly work your way in. Start with doing some intermittent fasting and extending that window over time, and you'll find that you're able to do that, or allow yourself to have like one little snack and then eventually take away that snack. But you'll feel good once you do this, and once you get adjusted to it, and you'll feel what it's like to actually eat when you're hungry, and not to just eat because it's lunchtime or it's breakfast time, right? And you'll be amazed at what you can actually accomplish and do. Make sure you click that playlist to check out all the videos on OMAD, and the series will be continuing. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.